a couple of years, so let's go with that. And instead, you have Israel attacking into Syria and then saying that instead of having a ceasefire for Gaza, they want to actually move deeper into the Gaza Strip, which seems to undermine American objectives. Do the American people see whether these things are happening, and how do they view Trump, who seems to be powerless to stop it?
Well, this is the key question. How many American citizens on any given day pay much attention to what's happening beyond their borders? I don't think very many do. We destroyed Syria. Let's face it. That's what we've been trying to do for the last 15 years. That's not new. That started under President Obama. Now, I don't think Obama particularly cared about it. I think we've had a series of presidents. I know from personal experience, President Clinton had no interest in the Balkans at all. And he was dragged into the Balkans repeatedly by people that worked for him, Albright, Gore, Berger, and others. And Strobe Talbot. That's what happens, unfortunately, especially when you've got a president who is not grounded in the area, in an understanding of the area, in understanding international relations. It also happens when the president's not terribly concerned. Now, I think President Trump may have an understanding of what you just described, but he doesn't know what to do about it. And at this point, what do you do about Syria? It's destroyed. People there are being murdered. They're being killed. And let's face it, Mr. Netanyahu had a real important role to play in that. He was in the forefront of removing this man, Assad, over and over and over again. Edward Luttwak, years ago, said, why are we trying to move Assad out of northern Lebanon? He's providing some measure of stability up there. We're better off with the Syrians there in charge than not. No one listened to him. We got chaos. We're seeing the same thing today in Syria. Now, as part of the Greater Israel Project, they are going to control the watershed near Hebron, the Mount Hebron, and that's fine. But they've got a problem with the Turks now, who are very uncomfortable with this encroachment on territory and a sphere of influence that they historically have enjoyed. I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't see anything good coming out of it, let's be frank. And President Trump is being led around by the CIA and Mossad and MI6 into all of these places, into this Ukrainian morass, into the Israeli morass. And then when you talk about Gaza, I'm sure that President Trump's uncomfortable, but he doesn't seem to have the courage to stand up and say, that's it. We won't support this anymore. You can look at the latest satellite photography and you begin to look at the statistics that are admitted through the Israeli media and the Western media. They're totally ridiculous. 60,000 people killed? That's absurd. We know that far more people have been killed and wounded. Hundreds of thousands, millions have been driven out of their homes. And right now, President Trump is being pressured by the Israel lobby to find places to send Palestinians. So what are we going to do? We can't deport our own illegals that need to be deported, and their deportation is absolutely justified. So instead, we're going to help the Israelis remove people from their homes. It's their home. That's where they live. They have been there for thousands of years. They're not illegal aliens. They didn't migrate into the place and break the law to get there. So it's a very depressing situation.
Now, let me ask you this, Doug.